Okay, so as I just said, I'll say it again for the people that are going to watch later. We're going to go through 3 defenses, hopefully, if there's time, but I am going to stop on time at 8 o'clock. We're going to hopefully do our base defense, the Atletico standard defense. Then we're going to do a more aggressive Atletico press. And then we're going to introduce the Leeds defense to those who don't know it yet. Share my screen for those who are on their phones. Okay. So first, I want you guys to show, this is actually probably set up similar to a Leeds one, because that's the bookmark I pulled up. So I want you guys to show me, this is a 6 kick. So we'll say that this is a 6 kick. So set up in the, we're going to do the Atletico defense first, the standard. When we yell out, run our defense, this is it. Show me. You guys move. And then Ivan, you can chime in to help people if they're not doing it right. Since you can't move a piece, you can talk, which is important that we talk. We should be talking this whole time. Don't move the red. That's me. I'm the red. Do not move the red, please. All right, stop grabbing red pieces.
Yeah.
If you're on a phone, don't even try it. It's not going to work, okay? Just watch.
I connected to my computer.
Yeah. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to ask, I'm going to give you is 10 more seconds. Hustle, 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 and then we're going to okay. So does anybody see a problem? Which, again, I'll tell you, you could have been saying it while they were moving, but now it's like test time. Don't move anything yet. This is, does anybody see a problem, or does it look good? Everybody good? Nobody sees a problem?
No one's marking the 6?
You don't need to.
Okay.
Well, here's why. This is why I like it. This is very compact, which has been one of our problems. We don't get this compact. We have guys here, and then these guys are way up too high, which leaves what? Yeah, you got the 6, but yeah. So let me show you what would happen if the ball goes to the 6. Okay, guys, show me. What would you do? 9 and 10, move.
You sweep them. Because the ball's in the middle.
So technically, it's there's a couple of things you could do there. And I haven't taught it, but I'll give you a couple options. What they could do if Luke and Moad were sitting back, right? As the ball is going, they could kick, and this is something we worked on at the Lighthouse game, and a couple of the players did very well with this concept. Maybe because they were foreign, Gonzalo and Adams are. So cover shadow, and we've talked about this before. It's a very, very important concept. Cover shadow is what I'm talking about when I talk about that a bad defender will cover nobody, a good defender will cover one person, but a great defender can cover more than one person. And one of the ways to cover more than one person, and the easiest way, is to use what's called a cover shadow. So Moad could come at this guy this way. You don't want to come at him straight because you're still allowing what? Even though 11 blue has a mark, it's better to always take away another option when you can. So if Moad comes in through a cover shadow, Luke could also come in through a cover shadow at that point if he wanted to. So this would really put pressure on the 6. You can't pass it straight. There's nobody there. And if someone does try to pop in, Moad should be bending his run, looking back, and also 11 can move over, and you still have Billy in there. So you can do that. This is something that would be done in the Leeds defense all the time. It would be done in the Atletico one, but I didn't want to get too deep into it in the Leeds one the Atletico one, because Atletico is not really a pressing defense. But the Leeds one is frenetic. So let's drop back. So that was good. That shows us we would press that guy. But the worst thing you could have done is if we were back like this and then, Mawad or Luke went directly at the guy, that would be bad, right? Because he now can simply play to the 10. So always come out with a cover shadow. That's why in the Lighthouse game, we kept them scoreless the entire second half, and a lot of that time we were actually down a man because Berlin's got a red card. And it's because we had guys casting cover shadows. So it almost appeared as though we had a man up. So very important to be able to do a cover shadow and understand that concept. Okay, now next. So let's just go over real quick. If the ball went to the 5, go quickly, show me what it would look like. And try to move the line up or back, depending what you need to do, guys. This is the regular base defense.
10 moves up, 9 in the middle, behind. Right there.
Thank you, Ivan. Talking. This is still not a heavy press. This is just, in the base defense, we're allowing the ball to go to the back line, their back 4 plus their goalie. We're allowing that. If we press, sweep, or if it's the Leeds defense, we do not allow that. We go after everybody. But in this is more passive. This, we're trying to prevent balls to the middle. Okay? I'm going to critique it now. That was enough time. So, this is a problem.
Yeah, Val's got a stab.
Someone should have told him that. This is where we don't talk. Okay? This is where we don't talk. You guys got to talk, man. This was a problem in the game. Guys are too slow to react. This ball gets sent and 10 gets turned. He can chip a ball into the 9. He can chip a ball here. Something that we need to do more of if we get turned. We're too slow. We would get the ball here, hesitate. Meanwhile, everybody's dropping. Okay? This is a problem, Val. So, Val, you want to fix that? Go ahead. Too far away. And we cannot allow players to turn in the middle of the pitch. Okay? And I like how Alex has held. I like how whoever number 2, who's controlling number 2. And put your name on multiple things, guys. If no one's claimed it, claim 2 of them, please. So I know who to yell at. They're wrong. Yeah, I like this because the 2, notice, and this is something we talk about in the Atletico defense, and you can even do it in the Leeds defense. Notice the fullback is actually out wider than everyone else defensively. He's even out wider than the winger right now. The wing is helping. Alex Avendano is helping to stop any balls going through here by being so. This is actually Alex's guy, the 3. But look how Alex is just lurking because Alex is going to allow that pass. This is important. But he's going to help Val deny anything in here. And if the ball is sent, Alex can close on this. Okay? Be careful, Alex, when you close that you don't come from maybe this direction and then allow this. Okay? So you want to make sure you're taking that away. Okay? Close on him. All right? Taking away. Keep your eye on the 3. You got to always look behind you. All right. So that was good. And now let's see. Luke is coming up on a diagonal and is casting a cover shadow on the 6. This is important. So too many of you guys do this. And this is not good. It's a free pass you're down. Yeah, Mawad is there, but why not cast the cover shadow? This would be Luke being a good player going after 5, but not a great one. This is a great one. Now this guy doesn't have this. He can play here, and we know what to do. We'll do that in a second. The ball gets sent here, and now what do we do? Notice
you have
Luke
to shift.
coming in.
Shift, right?
Yeah, shift.
Alex up to him. Oh, no.
And I'm going to start moving guys a little bit now because they're gonna move too, these players. especially amateur teams, they don't generally keep a
behind
guy
them.
wide on the opposite side. But
Stay goal side.
talk, guys, talk. Fix it now. I love it when there's nothing to fix when I say stop because you got yell at each other now. I really would like to yell less during games, but I'm trying to keep the scores. Okay, and when I'm not on the pitch with you guys, I have to yell.
Don't we need someone? Don't we need someone to cut the pass, like the pass across off? So like
Yes.
I see Luke's there. Like in theory, he would be there just kind of waiting for it. But wouldn't it?
Yes.
Would it be all right if he just stays there, or if he like
Yeah, Luke
applies
is
like active
not.
pressure?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, Luke is not in the right spot.
Yeah, because I was thinking
I don't
like
think. What I want to see is let me make it simple. I want to see a triangle. You know, we talk about a defensive triangle back here with Billy. Look at the defense, and this is something you guys weren't doing in the first half. And Team USA that I coached was terrible at this. This is the defensive triangle. It's defending our goal, right? The base of it, the base of the triangle for those who don't go to Philly public schools. This is the base of the triangle, right? It's what's protecting our goal. But now let me slide this over. Let's make one here, but let's have it protect the middle of the pitch. We don't want to protect the sideline. So you want to set up almost like a triangle, a defensive triangle where Alex is now the point, whereas Billy was before. Alex is now the point, and Val and Luke are now legs of that triangle, and they're covering Alex. Very good. And that was a good catch by Val. And Luke, look, when in doubt, drop back. I'd rather, when in doubt, you drop back than make a mistake getting too high. Okay, very good. So now, let's analyze this. Luke is giving up the pass back to the 5, but he could press it if it goes, but he's giving it up, right? He's taking away the pass to the 6. Excellent. Okay, if Alex, we're giving up the pass to the 2, the fullback, but that would have to be a great pass, and Alex can step because that's Alex's guy, right? Alex 2, right? Billy 2. Does anybody think Billy 2 needs to be that close to the 11, or can he pull off a little?
You can pull off a little
I think
bit.
he can pull off a bit.
Yeah. He has all that time. Yeah, you want to come in, Billy. Well, let's stop there. We have a problem, don't we, guys? And it has to do with the back line. Does anybody want to talk other than me? Go ahead. Anybody? Luke brought this up at 2 tacticals ago. What's the problem?
I think the 4 needs to shift to the left, and then the 5 also needs to shift to the left to cover Luke 2.
And specifically to cover who on the opposing team?
Well, to like give me
Right.
coverage to cover the 7.
Correct. And also they could be doing what to the 9?
Yeah, the 4 needs to go over and cover the 9.
You guys hear this? Who's the 4? It's Anise. Anise, you still here?
Still here.
So Anise, what Luke, you want to explain what this is, or you want me to do it? Go ahead, because it's still not right. No.
Like the 4 should just shift over to the left, and
Here?
then like just to kind of cover the 9, and then the 5 would shift over even more to the left to make sure that like they can't play a ball to the 7 down the wing.
Okay, now I'm going to tell you what I think should have happened. I think they should bracket the 9. Let go, Anise. I think you should bracket the 9. And this is what Luke brought up last week. You should bracket the 9. This way, if Anise number 5 has to bail Luke 2 out, right? Anise number 4 is still goal side and close. Billy 2 needs to shift almost centrally as the fullback. He essentially becomes a center back. Alex does not need to go there yet. Just because Billy can still, if a ball is sent, okay, Billy 2 can still, but Alex can definitely drop in a little bit more.
Aren't we supposed to disconnect our fullbacks though? Like I think Billy 2 is allowed to go kind of out wider.
He can, but he doesn't need to yet because it's on that. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. We've now created a strong side. We can shift over. And if they send this long diagonal ball, it's going to be in the air for a very long time. He can't go here. Okay. You know, you don't want to be doing this, but he can start to close in. It really depends. Like a guy like Billy can be here. If it's someone slower, they may have to stay a little bit further out. But Billy can definitely close in and help us out here. Okay. But he still needs to be aware of the 11. And we talked about this last week. For those who weren't here last week, this starts to look like our defense starts to look like a little kid team, doesn't it? Where we're all shifting to one side, correct? And I guarantee you this is what teams do to us. All the amateur teams shift to one side, but they don't do it intelligently. They just migrate to the ball like little kids. They don't know who they're taking away and all these angles generally. So, but it's actually very effective for those of you who've played against these amateur teams. That bumblebee to the ball, it actually works because it allows the opposition to cover one of the principles of defense, which is compactness, and they're pressuring the ball. But what we need to do, we need to do it intelligently, knowing if there is a switch, we can handle it. Okay? Now, that's very good. And if the ball went down, this ball needs to be either inner. And this is where Luke can have more confidence. If the two Anises shift over, Luke can really step here because he has this other Anise to back him up and go for the interception. And then this is something we have to work on, but I'm not going to go over it now. We have to counter faster. But I'm not worried about it until we start shutting teams out. As soon as we start tying 0-0, then we'll work on counterattacking. So those of you who want to work on offense, it will be soon, but we have to start shutting teams out. We're now a semi-professional team. We need to shut out these amateur teams. And we will soon. All right, so you have Anise bracketing them for support. This is excellent. We get the steal. The ball needs to be sent, guys. It needs to be chipped to Luke. It needs to be played to Alex. 1-2 touch. We are holding the ball way too long after the other team is goodly enough to pass it to us. All right. So I think we know that defense. So now I'm going to show you the press. Okay. So show me from last week, the Atletico we call creating a strong side. Go ahead. Ivan, you're going to have to help them. This is when we're going to put pressure. Some of you don't know this yet because you weren't here last week. We're going to create a strong side when the keeper has the ball.
I'm here. Just got off work.
It's going to seem like a Leeds sweep or an Atletico sweep, only we're going to do it right away. We're going to already have ourselves positioned there. So people are moving, but the first person that needs to move is
The 9 and 10 are
Go
too
Vale.
close.
Vale, move to the 10.
Should I get the 6? Should Luke 10 get the 6?
No, you just staying put because the goalie has the ball. And you went for the
no. Luke is right. Luke's supposed to get the 6. Yes, he's got to be. This is going to be very similar to Leeds defense, guys. But this is a little too close. You guys are way too close. Alex A is way too close to that player. Way too close. Okay. Way too close. You're still got to be close enough to press him. Okay, let me show you what it is. Because this is Moad needs to create a strong side by intersecting the 4 and the 5. He needs to Romero can choose which side he wants the ball to go to simply by either positioning himself here or here. Okay? You guys need to be more goal side. You don't need to be like right up their asses. All right, but except Luke can be a little closer. All right. Alex needs to be close enough that if the ball was sent, he could get there and press it. Okay. Val doesn't need to be, you don't need to be right up his ass, Val. It's way too close. You're allowing him to, by being that close, Val, you're allowing this. If the ball was sent in here, you're allowing him to come right across your body and body you out. If that was someone like what's his face? Dibba. He was manhandling people. You don't want to be that close to him. Come inside a little more, right? This is going to be very similar to the Leeds defense. Okay. Pretty good. Okay. Again, Billy 2 does not need to be this close. You guys should be calling this out, man. Don't need to be like literally on top of the guy. When you're far away from the ball, you don't need to be as close. You should be helping out with what? The further away from the ball you are, the further away from your mark you can be. But what direction should you shade to?
Where
Somebody.
the ball's at.
What?
Where the
No.
ball's going.
Well, the middle, guys. You should shade towards the middle. This is very similar to the Leeds defense. Shade towards the middle. And you see Anise is like an extra player. All right. This is going to force the ball where?
To
the outside.
Did I win?
Right here. It's going to force it there. And now what has to happen is where.
Step.
Now they're
Mawad.
going to have to cross it.
And what should Mawad be doing? Show me what you're doing, Mawad. What's Mawad going to do? What's Luke going to do? No, nope. Mawad. So guess what just happened? Disaster. Disaster because Mawad left. Disaster. You don't allow the switch now. Do not allow them. Still bad. The 4 is going to do this. Okay? Everybody see that, right? The ones that have been here. You got to have a cover shadow on that 4, Mawad. You got to move again, Mawad. Someone help Mawad. All right, let me show what it looks like. This is – let go, Mawad. This is a cover shadow on the 4. This is not. This is not. This is not. This is allowing a ball to the 4, which will allow them to shift to the weak side, which will create a new strong side where we're not at. If Mawad does this, where's the ball going to definitely go? To their right-hand side, to our left. We can now actually start to shift early. If we start to shift early, okay, you need to shift over. These guys need to shift. Billy can shift. If Mawad screwed up and came here and Luke came in like this and then it got switched, disaster. We just went on one side of the field and it's disaster. You understand? This is why the 9, 10 are so important to defense. So important to defense. Okay? And those of you who tell me you're 9s and 10s, I don't believe you until you know how to do this kind of stuff. Or you got to be able to do these defensive tactics as the 9 and 10. So now Mawad can now continue, but he should be looking behind him. All right, if I move like this, what should Mawad do? Move again, Mawad. Luke should and still cover. And this is critical. Is Mawad covering the 6 or the 4? Both, but who's his main target?
4.
4. But you can keep moving. All right. This is where you have to not get confused on who you're responsible for. We're going to eventually morph into the Leeds defense with this team, with the club. But it takes a little bit. It's very difficult to run. Requires great intelligence from the players. So now the ball gets sent. And what do? Show me cover shadows too, guys. What should Mawad do? What can Luke do? What can Val do? What can Luke 2 do? Everybody can press
Mawad
this.
could probably keep
remember,
like,
this is,
sweeping
hold
through the
on,
front.
hold on. This is a press. This is a press. We're trying to now win the ball. This is not the base Atletico defense anymore. We're trying to win this ball. You should be casting cover shadows and pressing. So everybody should have a cover shadow except the back line. They should be worried about the long ball. So I'm going to ask you who your cover shadow is and who you're heading towards. Mawad, what are you doing? Mawad's useless right now. Mawad is useless, and they're just going to give the ball back to the 5. Because someone talk to Mawad, tell him what to do. He's already screwing up.
Yeah, probably go between the 3 and the 5.
He already was between the 4 and the 5. What's he got to do now?
The 3 and the 5.
Yes, absolutely. He has to go between the 3 and the 5. Okay? He has to. If he doesn't, the whole press is done. The whole thing is screwed because Luke is going to be taking. Luke is now casting a cover shadow on the 6, right? Correct? 6 is out of the play. Exactly. Thank you, Val. Val is going to cast a cover shadow on the 10.
I was gonna ask
Okay.
that. So then Alex,
All right.
right?
If Mawad is slacking, which we were doing against Lighthouse, we have guys that don't show up the tacticals. If Mawad is here, what's going to happen? The ball's going to go to the 5, and it's going to be a shit long ball by them. But why even allow that, right? Why allow them? Why would we allow them to escape? Thank you, Mawad. Wrong again. There, you got it. That's better. Because now Mawad, and this is where intelligence comes in. Mawad needs to cast a shadow on the 5 and a little bit on the 4 just in case, but he definitely needs the 5. Luke can help out. Luke and Mawad can actually help out with the 6 and the 4, correct? And this is where you have to work in tandem. Alex should be stepping aggressively at this point to the 3. The 3 should, and if we were sweeping or creating that strong side with Mawad initially, is the 3 allowed to play forward, or are we closing on him before he can play forward? Yes or no? Yes. What?
We gotta close on.
Got to close on him, because if Alex gets there late, and again, you allowed him to escape, Anise and Luke are probably going to handle it, but why even allow it? We're going to collapse on this ball and don't even let him get it off. Okay? And this is important. The press doesn't work unless everybody does their job. It'll work against a shit team, but against a good team, the hole you leave open is the one they'll escape from. This is why now Val's casting a shadow on a 10. Mawad is casting a shadow on the 5. Luke is casting a shadow on a 6. Billy's helping out with the 8. And Alex is also can start to close because if the ball is 1, he can now help attack. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Is my mic okay?
Yep.
Can I ask a question? How come Mawad would come over? Can Luke go there and then Mawad? Can't they swap?
That's what I was thinking.
Go ahead.
I was thinking the same thing as well.
They could swap if they're close enough. It depends. So it's easier. So let me go back a step. When it was here, all right. When the ball was, well, let's send everybody back. Go ahead. Everybody go back. Ball's at the 1. Go back. I'll show you why it's generally easier for Mawad to do it. It's a great question, but I'm going to show you why. It's going to have to do with momentum. And this 6 is actually very close. We can move him back a little. That'll make it even clearer. Okay?
Yes, Luke.
Okay, is everybody good? Everybody happy where they are? Mawad, you got to be careful here, man. This is too easy. Too easy, Mawad. You just screwed up our strong side. You want to fix it? If you're creating the strong side, create the strong side. And that's too much. You need to make it a dangerous ball. Let me show you. Dangerous ball. So if he sent this, it's too dangerous. But don't overplay it. If you overplay it, okay, don't overplay it. All right? Ball sent. Now move. Mawad, all right, yeah. Okay, so Mawad is now at the knot, casting a cover shadow. So remember, Mawad is moving right now. I want you to keep that in mind. He should be running like rapidly. Well, as fast as Mawad can go. Not very fast, but it's his top speed. He's coming, all right? And Alex is a little too close, Alex, at this point, because if this player is really, stay up there, I'm going to show you. Okay, stay where you were. This is way too close. Because if this player is good, he can body you out, and this could happen. You guys, some of you guys are getting way too close too early. All right, and you're gonna get burnt. All right, there's no need. I want you to understand something. While the ball is traveling, that's when you can step. In the meantime, you should be covering. Yes, exactly. You should be covering diagonally towards the middle and back. Middle back. That's perfect, Alex. No, well, not you can still stay high. Yeah, that's fine. You need to be close enough that as the ball travels, you step hard. Okay. Okay, is everybody again? Luke 2 is way too close to the 7. It's just unnecessary at this point. Way too close. You have the time that the ball is in the air. Again, if this is a very fast player and that ball is sent while Mawad's going, you're taking away any head start you would have had. So you got to be backing in a little bit. Okay. And these should be bracketing. And Billy can hang, depending on Billy's speed. All right. Alex too can actually kink in. Right. Billy should have a defensive triangle set up in case there's a deep ball. He should actually be behind the 8 because you can always, Billy, if the ball's sent in here, you can always step to the 8. But it's better to be back so that we always win the long balls because they're going to be a shit ton of long balls if you do this. If you do the defense right, they're going to panic and they're going to send it long. So why not already be back to win those? It's so much easier in soccer to run forward than it is backwards. Way easier. So always stay back. You can always come forward faster than having it get turned. Okay? Okay, now I'll show you. Alex is in a great position because look, what's Alex also helping with right now?
The 10.
See? Exactly. And that's another reason why we don't want Alex right up his ass. Make sense? Alex is now a great player. Remember, a bad player covers nobody. A good player covers one person. That would be this. And a great player covers more than one. He now is taking away a lane to the 10 while being ready to step to the 3. Ball is played, and now Alex will continue to be a great player because he's going to cover 2 people. What's he going to do? Someone say what Alex is going to do. Cover shadow, 2 to 3. Val can cast a cover shadow. Mawad can now do you see why it's 9 times out of 10 it's going to be Mawad? Mawad was already running, so he's gonna hop the 5. And now Mawad is really going to be taking out how many players?
3.
3. He's pressing the 3. He's pressing number 3 with the ball. He's casting a cover shadow on the 5 and the 4. Only a ball in the air can be sent to the 4, which Alex will delay on. But hopefully, that's Alex 2 will delay. But Alex A, up here, our 7, is trying to prevent any kind of long ball, right? Because he's, again, since we're pressing, we're not letting the back line send the ball. Make sense? Everybody good?
Yep.
Luke 2 now should be – wait, Luke, there's a problem with Luke 2.
He has to be more close to him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now he
why?
can get close. Yeah, now he needs to be close. I mean, he doesn't need to be right up his ass, but he needs to be ready. That
Yeah, be aware.
and Anise can tell him to step. So Anise, this is why we need both Anises, the 4 and the 5, to bracket the 9. This Anise is goal side. This is so if the ball is sent, you still have Billy helping, but now Anise can go, hey, Luke, step to the wing, step to the wing. And now Luke could get more aggressive. So if the ball is sent down, Luke can now step in front of it, and we are countering right away. Okay? Now, the final progression to the Leeds defense. Remember, I'm going to teach us 3 different defenses. And we're going to be able to show teams different looks, which is going to confuse them. Now, the basics of the Leeds defense. It's going to seem exactly like that. Okay? So go get set up again. Go ahead. Show me the Leeds defense, gentlemen.
Good look, track back.
Actually, before you set up, but while they're moving, I'll explain the Leeds defense for those that don't know while they're moving. Leeds defense always has a +1 on the back line. +1 defender.
Which is Billy?
It has -1 at the top. So it always has what is basically a sweeper, an old school sweeper is how Leeds plays. Leeds is
defender. Number 4, Anis? Is that me? Or no, the
Let me-
close
let-
one defender.
hold on, stop moving for a second. Let me give the other guys the basics of it real quick. So Leeds plays, it seems like a man-to-man defense, but it's not, because the player at the top is not playing man-to-man. He's covering two guys. There's a free man in the back. But everybody plays relatively tight to the man, but when in doubt, we always like to beware. Inside and back. I yell out inside your man all the time, right? Inside and back of your man. All right. And if you don't want me yelling across the field in front of all the people watching to get inside and back of your man, then do it. And I won't be screaming at you to do it in front of everybody and embarrass you. Nobody wants to hear get inside and back of your man. So there you go.
You guys hear me now?
Well, here, hold on. So, yeah. So, no, Mawad will hold. I don't want to say it yet. Mawad's holding. So, notice Luke is only behind the 6. He's not to the side because the 6 is centrally located. So Luke is already protecting the center, right? But notice Val, look where Val is. Val is behind and inside of his man. Billy, it's fine, but Billy could be directly behind his man if he wants to right now, okay? Because if that ball gets sent into the corner, Billy should be neutral because his man's in the middle, okay? This Billy should be inside, but it's fine right there. He's got him out because Anise is going to help. Okay? Anise can beware, guys. He can shade a little bit. It's almost like the further off center they are, the more you can shift inside. You start to see it. What you're going to start to see with Leeds is they set up a zone defense for whatever they set up. They try to set up a perfect zonal defense for whatever the offense does. Let me repeat that. They attempt, Leeds, to set up a perfect zonal defense. They don't give a shit about 4-4-2. They don't give a shit about 3-5-2. They don't give a shit about any formation. They mirror your offensive formation and try to set up a perfect zone on the fly. That's why it requires very intelligent players. You have to set up a zone on the fly. If it can be done, it's extremely effective because you're literally matching the opposition and giving them no breathing room at all. It's extremely difficult for them to create overloads because you're always matching what they're trying to do. So I like it. Anybody see a problem, or is it good? Why is Mawad moving? So Mawad, you want to stay central? Is Mawad covering the 6 or just helping with the 6?
Helping.
Just helping. Luke needs to know that the 6 is his because Mawad's going to leave in a second. I'm going to show you. Let's go this way this time. And
Yes, the cover shadow 6.
so Mawad, I need someone else to be the 9. Ivan. You're going to be – oh, Ivan can't. Who wants to be the 9?
I'll be the 9. It doesn't matter.
Who?
Anise. I don't mind.
Who?
Anise.
Anise? No, you
Yep.
have too many guys. Give me another person.
Okay.
Hurry up. Val, you be the 9. Oh. So it's very important. And just watch for a second. Mo, you can be the 9 next time. So the ball, I'll go back again. Sorry. I'm going to go back again so we can show. I want you to see the path Val takes. Everyone go back to where they were. Good. Now as the ball is sent, watch how Val intersects. Still don't. It's fine, but I want it intersected even faster. But that's fine. He can curve his run. I like this. Immediately take the lane away. Immediately take it away and then come in. It'll look like a bend-it run, but immediately take that away. You want to stop that pass as quickly as – because if Val does this and kind of comes in at this angle, I'm going to show you something. It's very important. If he comes in at this angle, as he's moving, already the ball could be sent, and now Val already stepped forward and over. So he's got a longer run. So what I like to see is straight in, cut it, and then close. which will look a little bended. You just got to cut hard. You got to cut hard. I don't even mind you doing this. Ready? Watch. As the ball is going, I don't even mind you coming around this way. Like this
Why
way.
don't
See
we
it?
just start in between the 4 and the 5, like in the other defense?
Because you can, but the reason Leeds doesn't do it, and this is a choice, is it now helps out with the 6. It's just a preference that Bielsa has. It doesn't mean Bielsa's God, and that's the choice he chose. We could choose something different later. We're our own club. I'm
Like
showing
the 9
you.
stand like here, so that he's
Yeah,
in
you
the
can know
cover
you
shadow
get
of the
closer.
6. Well, this way he's in the cover shadow of the 6, right?
No.
But then
Here's
he's
the problem.
also between
Hold
the 4 and the 5.
on. Here's the problem. If the ball is quickly sent to the 5, he's off to a race right now. So we want them back for now. We want them back. But yeah, you could do it. But they like to hold so that we can double the 6 if there's any problems. We don't want to get gashed in the middle. Remember, because Leeds, it's very difficult to gash Atletico in the middle, but Leeds is like wild. They leave a lot of things open. So this helps Leeds from getting gashed in the middle, okay? So we want to hold back and then do a curved run and come in hard.
Can I say something as well?
Yeah.
With that, with the forward making that initiated pressure, what you're saying is very important for that dude to come at that angle to cut off those passing lanes. Because if that ball gets channeled all the way across, the whole purpose of doing that now is ruined, because now they can find other gaps from the opposite side and then come back and attack us in that sense. Because all our initiate pressure and press is based off you cutting that gap and forcing the ball to where the pressure is, which is towards the 10, the 8, the 11, for everything to get sucked in. Then we can counter attack that. Once we win that ball, now it's literally 2v1 in every aspect of that field going forward.
Thank you, T-Ben. Couldn't have said it better myself. And so this is why, and I'm going to show you this curved run where you're actually going to go towards the 5. Watch this. So notice what T-Ben said. We cannot allow the ball to get switched to the other side. So the best way to do that is you can actually go almost towards the 5 in a curved run that way. So now if the ball was sent to the 5, right, this is a dangerous ball now for multiple reasons. Vale is actually heading towards the 5, right? He's making himself further from the 4, but everybody else is going to start stepping to the 4, like T-Ben said, right? But Vale can actually shade towards the 5 at first and then come. And at that moment, now it's completely cut off. And now show me what you need to do, gentlemen. Because watch out, I see the 6 open. A lot open right now, guys.
Yeah, Luke, cover or shadow the 6.
Someone help Alex. What's the most?
Alex,
I want you guys to think. Like
Alex, you're good right there, actually, to be honest. Or just move in front of, or in between them. So if it does go to the 5, you can cut that.
No. So let me stop you. Let me stop. Let's analyze Alex. Hold on. Let's analyze Alex.
I'm saying if it goes there, like obviously just stay in your position.
Hold on. Let's analyze Alex A. Let me stop. T-Ben said that at all costs we're taking away the other side. Who's responsible for taking away the other side?
Is it Alex?
No, it's not Alex.
No, it's Val.
I mean, me and Val 9.
Val is responsible.
Yeah, it's Val. It's Val primarily, and Luke's going to help. Alex needs to trust Val and Luke, but trust Luke a little less. And this is what Alex should be doing. As Luke is putting a cover shadow on the 4 through the 6, Alex should be coming in and watching the 6 for him. Because if the 4, with Val bearing down on him, can do a long switch, Okay, Alex can look beyond and still step back over. If they do that, it's going to be a long way in the air. And let me explain to you something. With a good 9 bearing down on the 4, it's not something you want to do. You have to clear Val's head, all right, and get it all the way over to the 3. And even if he does, I'm not telling Alex to come through the 6. He can just be ready to step to the 6 anyway. Alex can easily press that. Okay? So Alex should not get caught here. He should have been doing, as Luke does the cover shadow this way. Now we have Val, we have Luke, both covering 2 players. Alex is aware of the 3, but he's also now, in case the ball is chipped to the 6, Alex can.
Should Billy take the cover shadow of the 8?
I think so.
Because I would be afraid that they play to the 8 and then they dump it back to the 6.
I totally agree with that. Especially because the 9, now we'll move the 9 though. Billy has no other responsibility. What should he do? Exactly.
Can
Sorry, the
I
ball.
pick you back off again?
Yeah, go ahead, Tabo. Go ahead.
For those type things, I'd rather have them play long balls because you got to recognize if they playing long balls rather than on the ground, if they playing that long ball, that man still have to take a touch, bring the ball on the ground before he proceed going forward. So if that ball do get switched in the air, before he takes his first touch, if you're in his face, he can't go nowhere.
Say it.
So, literally, if that ball gets switched, because if that ball is on the other side towards number 4, it's very important that that 7 tuck inside for us to make that feel smaller, condense that space, so that way the only option they have is indeed to play that long ball out to the 3. And if they do play that wide switch before that ball gets to number 3, number 7 can be right in his face.
Yeah. Now, thank you, T-Ben. That is excellent. And now here's why you got we Anise, what? Anise, we have to fix the 4 and the 5. This is why it's dangerous to do what Billy just did, only because the 4 and the 5 are wrong. 4 and the 5 are wrong, guys. The ball's on this side.
Probably got
We're supposed to have a +1. 4 and the 5 are wrong.
9.
Not even in Leeds defense, it's not even technically a bracket, although it'll seem like one. What is it really, guys? Leeds defense, it's a +1. It's a sweeper.
Should the near side? Should the sweeper be on the near side or the far side?
Then these should be on ball side.
All right.
For the channel,
So then
remember?
5 needs to cover the 9.
Yeah. So, Anise, you need to do this, and you need to be on the 9. You understand? Luke, too, needs to be way in. Dropping in. Because, again, what T-Ben was saying, that ball is sent all the way out to the 7. We'll just delay for time. They want to do a long switch. Let's let them do that once or twice, and then we'll start to adjust. But as long as we don't get scored on from it, okay, if they got a guy that can send that, tip your hat and say, okay, we see what you got. We'll be ready for it next time. But Luke doesn't need to be here. Luke's actually more likely to get beat by that ball if he's too close.
Excuse me, coach.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say too. Because if that number 2 don't step inside for us to close that gap between the 2 and the 5, we would get killed by number 7 every single time because he's isolating and stretching the field out wide for that number 2 to stay outside with him. And then that becomes literally a straight ball where he's making a diagonal run on every single play. And that's the type of balls that's going to break out our back line every single time. We'd rather have that ball play over top than play a diagonal ball straight down the middle.
It'll look like that.
I think the 6 is it's too far from the 8, and the 6 red has the space to move everything, and that would be 2v1 against the 8 if he can make the move, and then the 8 can move too because they will be moving every time. You know what I'm saying?
So
the 6 can come close, little bit closer.
So let me show you. Here's my argument. Val is out of position, the 6 right now. Anise Anise number 4 needs to be in the channel. Okay, he's be in the channel. he needs to balance himself between the 9 and the 11. His job, the 11's job, the 4's job as the free man, we call him the free man. He has to be one of our most technical players, one of our best passers, and one of our best readers of the game. And Anise is on the wrong side of the 9. He'd be here. This is what it should look like. Now, does that look like a pretty good defense against the 9 and the 11? And this is why Luke needs to be where?
Back there, yeah.
Back and dropping back. Okay? If they send that long switch, it's going to have to be in front of the guy. Luke's going to easily intercept that. Okay? So Luke's dropping. 3, Billy, our blue 3 is on the 11. Our blue 5 is on the 9. Okay, and we have a free man. Luke is also there. Luke, our number 2, is there to help. And this is where Leeds just sets up as you set up. This is going to allow Billy to feel as though, because he has the free man here, Billy can step through. Doesn't have to, but he can step through to close down anything in front. He doesn't have to come at the 4. He could just be, but he can be in front of him. Because if a ground ball is sent, Billy's getting there first, right? But if an air ball is sent, you still have Anise can step up, Billy can crash in, and the free man can do what? Drop back, cover, right? So it's still a great situation, and we took away that ground ball into the opposition 8. Okay. This is what the free man's for. We want the free man to always cover the stuff behind, and we want the other guys to step. So if the ball is sent over into this channel, into this hole, the 5 is allowed to step up. The free man should never go forward. Never go forward. Those who have played, when we played Elite's defense, you know, if that guy doesn't go forward, we can shut teams out because they can never send a through ball. I'm going to leave it there because it's 8 o'clock, as I promised. Great job, everybody. T-Ben, thank you for joining us and giving us some insight.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
And to all my regular A students, excellent work. And I have it on recording. So it's always better to be here, though, because you see how we can do this back and forth. And as always, we're civil when we do it. But we will hold, you know, you have an idea, we have to defend it on why it's a good idea. Like Luke came up with an idea and wanted to know why that was. Someone else wanted to know why Val and Luke didn't switch, and we just defend our positions. I'm not always correct, and you guys know that.
All right,
sometimes you guys prove me wrong. All right, so that'll be about it. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the practice field at Sion, those that can make it. All right, great work.
Perfect. I'll see you guys tomorrow at practice. Everybody have a lovely rest of the night.
Yes, indeed.
Sorry, it was late.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, guys.